Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman. On this week's episode, the E3 hype begins! Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and I am feeling genuinely excited because E3 is upon us at this point. It feels real, it feels like it's happening, and it feels like this is something I wait all year for. It's back, I'm in it. I'm in my Honda Element. It's E3 time. Why I'm super excited today is that at this point, all of the press conferences are locked in. So it seems like a good time for an E3 2014 press conference breakdown. On June 9th, the E3 festivities will, as usual, begin Monday morning at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific with the Microsoft media briefing titled Xbox Game On. What you can be excited about, Don Matrick won't be there. I feel like he's the reason Han Solo was dancing. I feel like he's partially responsible, and also probably very responsible for why the Xbox One is in the state it is right now. So, hey, have a great time at Zynga, man. Sorry you won't be at E3. And yeah, instead we have Phil Spencer, the new head of Xbox, a man who is into it. He likes this stuff. Look at his Twitter avatar. That's the old Xbox logo. He's consistently, single-handedly hyped up E3, and I believe it. I believe he has things to show. And I mean, the title is Xbox Game On. There's got to be games. It's going to be big. What to be cynical about? The phrase captured on Xbox One. So last year, Microsoft actually did show a lot of games at their E3 press conference, but I think it was all overshadowed by their then ridiculous policies of how connected an Xbox One had to be and how you can't just flip a switch. You can't just turn this off. This is gonna, yeah, you can. But anyway, that press conference began with a huge trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5. You know, and that was like the first numbered Metal Gear Solid game that would debut at the same time on an Xbox console. This was probably a big deal. This year, I don't think it will have the same impact because we've seen how Ground Zeroes runs on an Xbox One and how it runs on a PlayStation 4. And just last week, maybe the week before, the big reveal trailer for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare started with the phrase, "The following was captured on Xbox One." And I don't think that had the intended impact. I think that exists there, so it's like, oh, whoa, this is all gameplay? Haha, whoa, amazing. And it's not that. It's kind of just, oh, okay, show us the PlayStation 4 version. It's that. It's a bummer, but it's a reality. You know, it is. This past year, we've seen a lot of third-party games look best on PlayStation 4, and so it does diminish the impact of a third-party game in an Xbox press conference, and that's just sort of what they're up against this year. I mean, maybe it'll all work out. Maybe the Cloud Engine, maybe that will fix things. Maybe that will bring it to parity with a PlayStation 4 or above, but that needs to be proven. And till then, that's all hootenanny. Let's see some good-looking games. Despite that, my hype level, 4 out of 5 grinning Matrix. Next, we'll have EA's press conference, which this year is called EA World Premiere, E3 2014 Preview. And that'll happen at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific. What you can be excited about? Star Wars. Oh man, Star Wars is going to be at E3 this year. EA has attained exclusive rights, responsibilities, and privileges to develop Star Wars video games. And all of them will be from EA. And I expect that we'll see a lot more return on that investment at E3 this year. And EA has promised 6 new games. One of them will be Star Wars Battlefront 3. Oh, come on. Yes. Battlefront 3 is like a game that's all of us want. You see Star Wars and you see a huge battle and you're like, oh, what if I could be in that? And this game's like, yes, come on, be in this battle. And you're like, what, I can fly? And it's just, great, excellent. What you can be cynical about? EA the company. So EA as a business is very good at making money. Last week they announced that their stock went up 12.3%. after their earnings results. Great job, EA, at making money, and they're so good at that skill at making money. I don't know, that willingness tends to permeate through all their games. EA even said so. Just, yeah, we'll add monetization to all of our single-player games. Oh, sure. Thank you. I remember last year, their press conference opened with Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, and that was the coolest thing. That was EA. You're making a fun game just for fun? This is what? Look how fun this game looks. Cool. And then, of course, I guess 2 weeks ago, EA announced, oh, hey, players, now you'll be able to buy booster packs, so you're welcome. And it's like, what? That was it, wasn't it? That was your dumb plan all along. That's why that game's so cheap. It's 'cause, you can charge for booster packs. Great. I love booster packs. Let's be clear. This is why, I mean, how do you think these come on my desk? But digital booster packs? No. Regardless, 6 new games. I guess that's something to be excited about. My hype level, 3 out of 5 booster packs. Shortly after that has concluded, we'll see the Ubisoft press conference at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Funny thing about this is I was like looking for the press release where they announced the Ubisoft press conference. It doesn't exist yet. It's just that the invitations went out, and so the people who were invited are letting us all know when it is. Thank you, people who were invited. What to be excited about? Unannounced games. So Ubisoft, the last 2 years running, has ended their press conference with just like a game you never even thought they would be working on. First it was Watch Dogs, then it was The Division, and they just have that appeal of like, here's a new game you've never seen. Here it is. It's like, whoa, thank you. I feel like Ubisoft likes this opportunity. Ubisoft is aware that like, hey, we have the world's attention right now, and they seem to enjoy being at E3. I love that. Why you can be cynical? Unfulfilled promises. Ubisoft showed Watch Dogs 2 years ago, as I said, and it has still not come out yet. And honestly, the game it was 2 years ago looked better than it probably ever will. It then, at that moment, looked like the best version of that game, which is a sad thing. So it's probably the generational transition that's responsible for this. We probably won't see it anymore. I feel some of that ill will towards Watch Dogs is rubbing off on The Division. And like, Division doesn't need that. It doesn't need that coming on. It's not Watch Dogs, they're not related. Same kind of thing. Ubisoft, yes, it's fantastic when you show us this amazing new game that we'd never even imagined. However, like, if it's not ready to be seen, maybe keep it in the oven for a little while longer. Make sure those cookies are ready before you pull them out, and just like show us like, here's our little doughy circles. They're gonna be good, huh? And we're like, yeah, they do look good. And then you eat it, and that cookie wasn't as good as that cookie that I saw earlier. But yeah, Ubisoft kills E3. They like E3, and they're weird, and weird can be good for E3. It needs some weirdness. My hype level, 3 out of 5 mobile companion apps. And finally, on Monday night, Sony will have its press conference at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. They just like nighttime. And what you can be excited about? Fall 2014, baby. Fall is when all of the biggest games are released, because that's when we buy the most games. But a lot of fall 2014 is a mystery this year. I think Sony may not have a lot outside of The Order and Drive Club this fall. Maybe Last Guardian, maybe Last something, but I don't. But basically, as I touched on earlier this episode, third parties are going to shine on the PlayStation 4. So let's say that Fallout 4 will be announced at E3 and will be coming this fall. We're gonna want to see the PlayStation 4 version of that. I guess if PCs had a press conference, they would all look best on a PC. But PC is not a company that attends E3 for some reason. Maybe someday. Hi everybody, I'm the PC CEO, and we're about to show you all the best versions. Okay, forget about that. What you can be cynical about. PlayStation Now, I guess. I don't get PlayStation Now. It's my whole thing about like, I'd much rather own a game than stream a game. And I guess that's just railing against an inevitable future. And I just feel like that's gonna be a big part of this presentation. It's just, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I am playing the PlayStation 3 version of Watch Dogs, streaming at a blistering speed. Look out, buddy, I'm gonna jack your car. And then the audience like claps. Oh, he did it. And like, don't demo that. Don't show us that you can stream games. Don't make that a part of your presentation. Also, Project Morpheus probably is gonna be a part of this presentation. Like, as someone who doesn't typically get invited to these things ever, I'm kind of like tired of hearing people talk about the VR stuff without being able to try it. I'm having an amazing experience in here. Like, sure, I guess you are, but like, don't. Sure, that doesn't translate to us. But anyway, I think that this could be a big year for Sony and its PlayStation if those third-party games do look great on its console. My hype level for the PlayStation press conference, 4 out of 5. Sean Layton, who's this? Where's Jack Tretton? I liked that man. Is this the new guy? I don't know about hymns. And lastly, the last thing that happens before E3 actually begins is Nintendo's this year digital event happening Tuesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's going to be a Nintendo Direct, but they're calling it a digital event this year, which I think is a smart call. Anyway, what you can be excited about, Nintendo is good at keeping secrets. Software-wise, just like nothing leaks. You know, you think like, I can't think of a time that we've known about a Nintendo game before Nintendo wanted us to know about a Nintendo game. They're good at just like, whoa, where did this come from? Rusty's Real Baseball, what is it? they're good at like springing that on you. In fact, at this point last year, we didn't know what Nintendo's new Mario for the Wii U was going to look like. That debuted at E3, and then it came out months later. It was the best Wii U game of that year, if you don't count Wind Waker HD. Crazy. That's a crazy thing to have announced at E3, came out, was in the fall, the best Wii U game that year. That's like, to think that there's still like a secret Nintendo game that they have right now that could come out this fall and be the best, like that's what E3 is about. That gets me, whoa! What you could be cynical about, this is Nintendo. This is still Nintendo we're talking about. I mean, if you looked at me and you said, Kyle, like, when was the last time Nintendo knocked it out of the park at E3? When was the last time Nintendo had a good press conference? And I'd have to, I don't know. In 2010, they had that press conference where they showed the 3DS, and that was great. That showed really well. But that was also the one where Skyward Sword was demoed, and they had like, the controls are bad because of interference. It's all your cameras. It's like, wait, what? Don't like, bad press conference. So yeah, I mean, honestly, last great Nintendo press conference probably happened 10 years ago. It has been 10 years since Nintendo has had a good press conference, and yet every year I get more hyped than ever for a good one. Oh, this is gonna be the year. They're gonna drop the bombs this year. Like, no, they're not, Kyle. My hype rating, a reluctant 4.5 out of 5 pink gold peaches. And that is the episode for this week. E3, oh, I'm doing E3 episodes. It feels good. I feel a little weird about my haircut, but I feel good about E3. Those press conferences, hype levels, like, I wanna know what yours are. I'm curious where yours stand. I'm like, now at this moment, I'm thinking, man, it should have been 5 out of 5 for everything. I think it was a little harsh. Anyway, I'm excited, I'm pumped. I do realize E3 is more than just press conferences. I'll try to cover everything else in the upcoming weeks. But if you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. And I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.
I bet the other dudes are practicing for the Battle of the Bands right now. But seriously, like, who cares? I have a rapidly diminishing audience of real people who like my shorter, simpler songs. Baby, I wanna touch your shoulder. It's good to be me. Hey, baby!